When we think about all of the challenges faced by network operators, whether telcos or cloud providers, data center operators, or mobile network operators, it's clear that application performance is the real determinant of the customer experience. If the application is laggy or non-responsive, the customer is soon going to be looking elsewhere. As part of our new series on service assurance, we heard from leading operators and vendors. Our site also offers a free downloadable report prepared by AvidThink. This report is quite valuable for anyone tasked with ensuring the performance of applications across their network or across multi-carrier, multi-vendor networks. It's also useful for anyone tracking leading players in this field.
We talked to a bunch of network operators as well as networking vendors. And we broke the report up into, I would say, three sections. The first one is some of the major trends that are impacting service assurance. And as you point out, at the end of the day, there is this application performance that everyone cares about. But underlying that application, there's a lot of things. There's multiple layers underneath that. And so those layers, when we look at the network layer and the underlying infrastructure layer, there are a couple of things that are happening trend-wise. The first one is virtualization and cloudification. The change of the architecture to be more cloud-like, cloud-native, and that definitely has an impact on overall assurance as well. There's more things to deal with, more components to work on, and that aligns with the next major trend, which is disaggregation. We're seeing the telcos go through disaggregation of historically monolithic architectures and breaking them into multiple service components, which is great. Except now you have a lot more interface points that you have to look at and try to figure out what's going on. And then beyond that, we're seeing this whole move in terms of service assurance to look at things end to end, as you point out, from a user perspective or an application perspective. And so in order to do that accurately, you're going to have to find a way to do multi-layer and multi-domain correlation across all these things. And so that's sort of some of the key trends we identified, and there's definitely more in the report. And then moving on to the challenges side of things, one of the key problems that we hear from operators is getting the data, normalizing it, managing it. That's a big problem, and sometimes it's just not the data that they want, not available, and other times there's just too much data. They don't know what to do with it, right? So it's simultaneously, right? Too much and too little, and that's a challenge that they constantly deal with. The other element with telemetry and data gathering is that a lot of them use probes or agents sitting in the network or in the infrastructure, and there's occasions where they actually cannot place a probe or element in there. And now with applications crossing their domain into public clouds, right? So they have customers that are using multiple clouds, private clouds, sometimes telco infrastructure, sometimes not. But then end to end, the application crosses these domains. So how do you assure performance? How do you look at the service when you cannot gather all the data and make it and process it? And then finally, there's this big thing about AI and ML, and that is definitely a huge challenge. Which is everyone talks about it. They know they have to do something with AI and ML, but they're not sure what to do with it. And so, those are some of the challenges that we're seeing. And there are certainly strategies that are successful strategies that they know to use and deal with it. And what we've done in the report is gathered some of those and collected some of those things, and we've documented some of those strategies that the vendors and the telcos are finding success with. And so, welcome to download the report. Obviously, it's free. And check out what we've captured in there and the strategies, and hopefully it's able to help the readers, those who are interested in understanding service assurance and what to do for next gen service assurance. Hopefully it's a useful resource.